They are outraged at censorship like this is happening against military families. One asked a school official why they removed photos on the wall of Susan B. Anthony and Dr. King, but not Leonardo da Vinci, and was told, quote, he was a real historical figure. This is also happening in the same government. So I don't know, how are we supposed to interpret this with our eyes and our ears?
Well, I'm not familiar with that and what's going on. Obviously, I would believe that is wrong. It should not be happening.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that either. That would be extremely wrong. Is that real?
They've decided to defend. The user called for the repeal of the Civil Rights Act. He called for a eugenic immigration policy. He said the world should normalize Indian hate. Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna, who is Indian American and is here tonight, like Vance's wife, is also Indian American. He asked the vice president just a simple question on X. Are you going to tell him to apologize for saying, quote, normalize Indian hate before he is rehired into the government? Just asking for the sake of both of our kids. That apparently struck a nerve. Vance responded telling Khanna to grow up, adding, quote, racist trolls on the internet, while offensive, don't threaten my kids. But he says a culture that denies grace to people who make mistakes does. Vance went even further in another post, accusing Khanna of emotional blackmail of the Doge staffer, adding, quote, you disgust me. Well,
before we get too deep in this video, and my name is LFR JoJo if you guys don't know. This actually highlights the biggest difference in the way a lot of Republicans think and a lot of Democrats think. And I've heard both of them. I've heard both talking points from both sides. So if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. The focus that Republicans have and the focus that Democrats have are on completely different things. Completely different things. Democrats tend to focus on how things look. How does this look? How does this make our country look? How does this make me feel? That's a Democratic viewpoint. Republicans focus on how will this literally affect my country? Will this literally increase the worth of my country? Will this literally make my country better? And the reason I'm bringing this up is because this is a big thing you can even see in this discussion. Whether or not the post was racist, should he be fired or rehired, all that stuff. And if you look at it through the lens that I just pointed out, you'll kind of see where the different sides are coming from. One side, in their minds, is saying, okay, I'm doing this for the sake of my country to make my country better. And the other side is saying, this makes our country look terrible. So different perspectives, not saying which one is right or wrong. That's just what I've, think about it. But let's continue.
The congressman is here. So I want to start with you because I, for one, was flabbergasted by that exchange. How did you take it?
I was surprised that he reacted in the way he did. Look, I praised Usha Vance actually just a week and a half ago. I said, as an Indian American, I'm proud of her ascent as a second lady. And I've known Usha, I've known the vice president. And all I was saying is you have someone who's 25 years old who has made deeply offensive comments about Indian Americans, who has talked about repealing the Civil Rights Act, who has talked about his disapproval of interracial marriage. You're going to rehire him. Is he going to apologize? Is he going to have any accountability? No one is saying cancel him. But you can't just rehire him and say, okay, everything is fine, and he's going to represent the United States government.
Why not cancel him? Just asking. Because we're living in an era where we're being told that if you talk about diversity, you should be canceled out of the government. But you can post racist posts as of a month and a half ago and welcome in.
Yeah, in a world where DEI and critical race theory and affirmative action are under attack, I feel like we're protecting white supremacists and racists and attacking Black and brown people who want to be part of the fabric of the country. And I'm curious how the vice president would explain to his Indian children why he stood up for somebody who said normalize Indian hate. Like, what would he say? And that issue may not come up today.
He also called the guy a racist troll. He acknowledged that this person who he wants back in the government is racist.
They obviously fired him in the first place, right? Why did they fire him?
Well, and I think there's two things that I see happening here. The first one is that this is the signal to his voters that we are going to let these things slide, that you can't be canceled anymore. For all of us, however, the other vast majority of Americans, we're standing by the fact that we are going to hold people accountable to that. And with all due respect, Congressman, an apology would not suffice for me in this particular circumstance. This is a moral character bedrock of somebody's perspective of the world. I don't care what you got on your grades at Stanford. I don't care what coding competition you won. These are not the kinds of people who should be filtering the biggest decisions in the design of this
So what,
country.
he's vanished off into the desert
No,
for eternity?
you're-
Like,
I'm
wreck his
not
life,
interested
wreck
in
his
doing
career, send him off into
So you're
nobody.
okay with racism in your party?
Hold on, man. Let me finish. That is not what I said, so don't even go there. Absolutely not. I think it's abhorrent what he said. I frankly agree. If he's willing to acknowledge what he said was wrong and apologize for it, we are a
Which he
compassionate
didn't
people.
do,
Why can't
though.
we give
He
us...
didn't do that.
Well, we don't know that he's done that or not.
But he has
I'm just-
access to the World Wide Web. And you're welcome to apologize. We're very much looking forward
Well,
to it.
I'm just saying...
And also, the congressman asked J.D. Vance, the vice president, should this person apologize? Vance didn't say, yes, he should. He said, God, I mean, he said all kinds of terrible things about the congressman for whatever reason.
He acknowledged that the comments were sophomoric and terrible and all the stuff
And
that he
racist.
said.
Let's
And
just-
racist,
hold on.
yeah.
So this is not inappropriate.
He called the guy a racist troll, and now he's like, come back to the government.
J.D. Vance would have been better served if they just disowned this in the beginning. Like, this is one of those easy things to do. It wouldn't have been much backlash against J.D. Vance and Donald Trump if Elon Musk just decided, okay, well, this guy's going. I think this is more about Elon Musk's guy than anything else, because in most other situations, they would have just said, okay, we're going to cut ties with you, which is exactly what they ended up doing. But I still think that this part of this connection to Elon Musk, where many people have Donald J. Trump as president, J.D. Vance as vice president, but then Elon Musk as a Republican member of Congress described him as Prime Minister Musk. I think putting Elon Musk on the same level of Donald J. Trump, where we excuse everything that he does, I think that that's just really problematic.
Vance is wrong.
Okay, I don't think people are excusing everything Elon Musk does. Elon Musk is actually currently under a lot of fire. If you guys don't know, they're trying to subpoena him right now. They want him to testify before Congress. I don't know how you can be in any more fire than that. I personally would not want to get a random, well, it's not random, but I wouldn't want to get subpoenaed by Congress. That's a lot of fire. I think there's an ideology difference here. And I may be wrong. I'm not a politician. I'm an engineer. But what I'm saying is, just to try to add some level of logic to this and not be a talking point for one side or the other, is that the conservative side is basically sending a message saying that we value freedom of speech. Whether or not I agree with that message is a different discussion, but they're saying that we're sending a message. We value freedom of speech. As long as you get the job done that we need you to get done, you can work for us. You will not be canceled, basically. And the left, from what I'm hearing here, they're saying, no, if you did something, you need to pay for it. Point blank, period. We still believe in canceling people. You need to pay for this. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below about this, because this is a very, very controversial topic. Obviously, the comments were very racist. I don't even know why he would say something like that. That was a crazy, crazy statement. But what I see from this is like completely different ideology. One ideology is completely different from the left. Very polarizing debate. Let me know what y'all think.
In that the information that we are receiving, the slurs that we receive as black and brown people, as women online, is hurtful, right? This is not, it doesn't matter, woke culture is worse. That's not true. And this individual works in government. When I go to my government and ask them for something, for help, do I have to worry that the person on the other end of the email or phone is racist and actually hates me and has been online saying, we think you should be whatever, deported or whatever?
He should apologize.
I mean,
that's at a
but it's
minimum.
not just-
He should just have an
Absolutely. I'm not
apology.
arguing. I completely agree with that.
But again, like I do want to challenge us. This isn't an apology. Like I have a 5-year-old at home. He says he's sorry And he does not mean it to his sister all of the time. It's just to get through the thing. I believe that the Trump administration was so eager for a moment like this to be like, see guys, don't worry, we're gonna save you. We're gonna make these things insignificant. We're gonna decurrency these kinds of statements and provide air cover. I agree with you. I think they chose the wrong one to die on the hill of. But we, as a society, as much as you want to strip DEI and wokeism and CRT, it's not going to work.
Well, look,
we're all still
I
here.
think that what this is happening in the context of a lot of other things in this government. And part of the point that I'm trying to bring to the table is that this is the same government that is saying at the Department of Defense, we're going to stop acknowledging Black History Month. We're going to go into DOD schools and address what they are learning there. This is from Jamie Raskin. He says he received this memo from constituents abroad on a U.S. military base who are parents in the DOD school system. They are outraged at censorship like this is happening against military families. One asked a school official why they removed photos on the wall of Susan B. Anthony and Dr. King, but not Leonardo da Vinci, and was told, quote, he was a real historical figure. This is also happening in the same government. So I don't know, how are we supposed to interpret this with our eyes and our ears?
Well, I'm not familiar with that and what's going on. Obviously, I would believe that is wrong. It should not be happening.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that either. That would be extremely wrong. Is that real? Is that a real thing that happened?
In our government, and I would love to know more about what happened. We're talking here, we're talking about two different things. If it's about DEI and qualifications for jobs versus giving somebody a second chance, that's what the difference here.
Those are not different things, okay? Because if we talk about qualifications for a job, and you're also telling me that you are willing to hire somebody who is a self-described racist, then how is that person qualified for a job serving the American people in the government?
Look,
And what explains the vice
how's that
president? Here's what I didn't understand. I mean, he was so emotional about this and such an outburst. I'm not saying that he's not condemning the racism. He did, but why can't he just say, yes, the person should apologize before being reconsidered? What is the hesitancy for him to say it? Is it political, that he doesn't want to offend a base? What is it that he can't say that?
Well, I came on here, I'd not seen your back and forth, I'll be honest with you.
Okay,
I can't speak. Look, I can't speak for the vice president, but I do know that he condemned the remarks from the outset.
But do you think he should, at the very least, say that before someone is hired, he should?
I'm not going to tell the vice president what he should or should not
So
say.
you're not.
I agree that I think the guy should at least acknowledge what he said was wrong.
And if he
apologize.
doesn't
I
do that
agree with you on
publicly,
that.
do you think he should be fired? The guy, if he doesn't acknowledge that.
Yes, I'm very clear. I think he needs
And
to
do you
acknowledge
think
that he should not be hired back.
And do you think it would be a big mistake in terms of the signal that Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are sending?
No, I'm not getting into the signals and stuff. I'm telling you what I think should happen.
I think you're like signals. No. Again, we are saying that we are here to protect racists and white supremacists and the manosphere. That's
Okay, so now to finally, because I heard a lot. I didn't know a lot about this topic before clicking the video. But now that I've listened, I want to give my perspective on this. When you have a job, I look at life like this. If you're in a position or you're in a job, and this is something I even do on my channel, because at the end of the day, I'm representing myself and my family. You have freedom of speech, but you also have to carry yourself in a certain type of way. So if you're saying extremely hateful comments, I'm not going to sit here and enforce certain laws on you because that's not my job. However, you have to be prepared for the consequences you will receive if you say certain things. When it comes to this position, I don't know whether or not people are defending it. From this conversation, they're saying J.D. Vance did condemn it, but he also didn't condemn it. Not entirely sure if he condemned it. Let's just say that he did condemn it, but he didn't condemn it again on Twitter. I'm assuming that they're trying to send a message. That's all I can say. I think they're trying to send a message that they're standing by freedom of speech. As long as you can, I guess, produce a job, that they're going to stand by freedom of speech. What else? That's really all I can say about that. I think they're trying to send a message, if I'm being completely honest. Obviously, if you're in a policy-making position, I wouldn't want someone who is an openly racist in a policy-making position. That would be extremely terrible. I wouldn't want anyone racist in anything. But anyways, Yeah, I think they're trying to send a message. However, trying to basically flip this situation into a DEI discussion, don't really know where this came from, or a CRT discussion. It was a little off field, but maybe they're trying to push their narrative on CNN as well, saying that racists get a second chance, but black people don't. I don't know. But anyways, let's continue. Let me know if you have any other videos you want me to react to. I'm LFR JoJo, and I'll see you on the next one.